It was National Nuclear Technology Day in Iran, an annual commemoration of the country's efforts to develop nuclear power. The Iranian government says its nuclear ambitions are for purely peaceful purposes. The international community doesn't believe it and has been struggling and largely failing to revive the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. Carla Ann Robbins is with America's Council on Foreign Relations.
This marks the day in 2006 when Iran announced that it had mastered the uranium enrichment cycle. The U.S. Defense Department now predicts it would take Iran about 12 days to make enough fissile material for a bomb. This is the so-called breakout time that was the centerpiece of the 2015 nuclear deal negotiated by the Obama administration. That was supposed to ensure that even if Iran walked away, it was going to take them a year to have enough fuel for a nuclear weapon. And this week, Axios reported that the Biden administration has been telling allies that it's thinking about trying to revive negotiations with an offer of a freeze for freeze. Let up a little bit on sanctions if the Iranians will freeze the program where it is. I haven't heard a lot more people say that that's what's going on, but they're certainly flailing.
Iran's parliament is threatening to set a deadline for the conclusion of nuclear talks with the West, with the country's foreign minister saying the window for talks cannot remain open forever. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, US President Joe Biden says he will spend time in Northern Ireland listening to the nation's leaders. He's held a brief meeting with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and will travel to the Republic of Ireland later. The German government has outlined plans to legalise the use of marijuana. Proposals include allowing people to buy recreational cannabis and grow plants at home. And a sandstorm is sweeping across Asia, leaving South Korea blanketed in dust. That's the latest feature story news. Laura Macon-Isherwood reporting.
You're listening to Northern Light Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Tooele.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, getting started on a Wednesday. And it'd help if I probably put us on the radio, too. Hey, we're here. Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. Finally, Wednesday. That means we get our friend in the studio, the one and only Mike Bentz, with our non-profit lowdown for the weeks. Thanks for coming in, Mike.
You're welcome.
All
Beautiful day here in Tooele, but I'm not going to steal your thunder. I'm going to let you do the weather.
All right. First, though, you are bringing a guest to the show today. Tell us about your guest.
Okay, we're bringing in Mike Hall. Mike Hall's the first assistant pro for the golf course, and we'll let him kind of do the thunder as far as opening and things like that. But, it's kind of one of those burps I had in my brain because we didn't have a guest this week, and I'm thinking, Ron May said, hey, we're going to get this golf course opened on the 15th. And I'm thinking, well, why not bring Mike in? He's been out there 2-3 years. He's going to have a face that people will see. And frankly, he did a presentation I watched and he was very articulate and been in around the golf business for a long time. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's a Spokane native. So he's from the area.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Right.
It'll be enjoyable.
Well, maybe after my intro of him and stuff, you should direct that interview because you're way more golf savvy than I'll ever be.
Yeah, but it's always fun to deal with somebody that's not golf savvy.
Oh, I get it. Kind of the newbie and might ask some questions that seem dumb.
That's right. Exactly.
Not that I've never done that before. All right. Also, just on a side note, because people get used to, I know people will tune in on Wednesdays just to hear what's going on in the community as far as events. And just kind of a heads up, you're going to be gone for a few weeks, correct? And that starts next Wednesday. We'll miss you for about 3 Wednesdays. Then the following Wednesday, I'm actually in Tooele training our new station manager. And so we will have a hiatus from Wednesdays for a little while on the morning show. So bear with that and just realize that once Mike gets all settled in Montana things will go back to normal.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day. This radio show will be Maine, Montana, and Chewelah.
And Deer Park. And Deer Park, too.
At Deer Park.
So, yeah, we're going to...
and
It's
so-
funny. Everybody that leaves Chewelah can still be there by doing a radio show on KCHW.
That's because all the talent is this side of the country.
There you go. All right,
They
we're looking...
went over, and you're trying to cultivate it over in Maine, but
All right. Just working on my thing of taking over the world.
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I figured there's this theory you're using that all guests have to be between the latitudes of 40 degrees north and 45 degrees north.
Yes.
Anything outside that's a foreign country.
We don't want to hear about it. That's right.
We don't want to hear about it.
All right. We got some big news before we get into the funny stuff this morning. First up, though, let's roll out that weather forecast. 52 for high, sunshine and a few clouds. Winds light and variable. Down to 31 tonight with some clouds. Now, 54 and 34 for your high and low tomorrow under partly cloudy skies with a 25% chance of rain. Friday, 54 and 34, again, partly cloudy, 20% chance of rain. Saturday right now, 58 and 39, mostly cloudy skies, barely any chance of rain. Sunday, 62 and 41, cloudy, 25% chance of rain. Me and Mike were talking before this. You said Chewelah Creek looks right at about flood level right now.
Yeah, it's getting right to the top. Yeah, last night when I went down to a meeting, you can see the water almost level as you look across the park.
Oh wow, that's kind of and we haven't, as you mentioned before we went live, we haven't seen the snowpack in the mountains really start to melt that much, so it could mean problems. Already having problems with the amount of rain we've had throughout the county, and your Stevens County commissioners have declared an emergency. I got this yesterday, official document. It says in the matter of declaring an emergency due to flooding, whereas the Director of Emergency Services, Adina Sellers, reported to the Board of County Commissioners that beginning at 4 o'clock on April 11th, a number of public roads, fire stations, and other infrastructure in the county are impassable due to extraordinary rainfall and snow melt runoff. Some of the flooding occurring is in burn-scarred areas from our previous forest fires over the past few years, which really allows that flooding to take place and erosion. It also says, whereas we've seen some in-stream infrastructure threatened or failed, such as culverts, whereas extensive damage has and is still occurring to county roads and private roads, whereas persons and property are and will be damaged unless further efforts are taken to reduce the threat of life and property and public transportation being affected. There is a present emergency which necessitates activation of the Stevens County Disaster Preparedness Plan and utilization of emergency powers granted pursuant to the RCW, which I won't give you. It is hereby declared by the Board of Stevens County Commissioners that there is an emergency due to flooding conditions in Stevens County. Therefore, designated departments are authorized to enter into contracts and incur obligations necessary to combat such disaster, protecting the health and safety of persons and property, and providing emergency assistance to the victims of such disaster. Each designated department is authorized to exercise the powers vested under the Section 1 of this resolution in the light of exigencies of an extreme emergency situation without regard to time-consuming procedures and formalities prescribed by law, accepting mandatory constitutional requirements. So basically, giving departments the authority to spend extra money if they deem it necessary. So there you go.
You read that like a real pro voice.
I shouldn't say I've had too much experience with lawyers.
You didn't hiccup. You didn't slur. You didn't
right.
You didn't pause. You didn't. I'm thinking, man, I was in awe.
Well, hey, I don't do this very often, but hey, I'm Scott. Thank you. All right. What happened to you, Mike? You really sunk down in your chair. You
I've got
there you
the
go.
sun kind of
Okay.
Kind of.
All right.
I might have to blank me out and do some rearrangement here in a minute.
It looked like you were trying to hide.
Well, maybe I am.
All right. All right, there you go. Real quick, breakfast and lunch for the kids today. Looking at the 12 breakfast burrito, cereal, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk. And then for lunchtime, looking at chicken nuggets, potatoes, as in mashed potatoes, bread, green beans, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, and again, your choice of milk. That's what the kids are eating for breakfast and lunch. I don't see anything on the calendar for this weekend, but we'll be talking to Mike about this stuff in just a few minutes, and we'll find out if I've missed anything. I know next weekend, looking big. You've got your final sign up for the 13th annual citywide yard sale next Wednesday. You have to be signed up by then if you want it in the paper. That same Wednesday, there's a blood drive. Then on the weekend, citywide cleanup. And also an art show going on at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts, helping artists get rid of all the stuff they've stocked up over the winter. And we'll get more details on all that stuff from Mike. But first, Mike Bence with morning dad jokes.
Hey, are you ready?
I'm never ready for your dad jokes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, Scott,
Yes.
where do you learn to make ice cream?
At the creamery.
Oh, close.
Okay.
At Sunday school.
Oh, man.
Okay. Oh, this one you ought to get.
Okay.
What's the most musical part of a chicken? Now, keep in mind, this is a PG-rated stroke.
Musical part of chicken. I don't know, Mike. What is the most musical part of a chicken?
The drumstick.
Oh, all right. I was ready with the joke. I was going to say, well, I'd never play that, but I might play the drumstick. All right.
Okay. All right. And then why did the teddy bear say no to dessert?
I don't know, Mike. Why?
Because he was already stuffed.
So full.
And then my last one is I left it to last because this will haunt you all day.
Oh, no.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Why was Elsa not allowed a balloon?
I don't know.
Because she would just let it go, let it go.
All right. Mine are just a little bit better than that, but I'm going to start
Okay.
off. This is to get everybody ready for spring. All right. First question for Mike. Why are waterbeds so bouncy?
Because they have waves.
Oh, that's a good one. No, they're filled with spring water. What flower does everyone have on their face, Mike?
Flower everybody has on their face?
Yes.
Ooh, let's see. The spring eyebrows.
No, tulips. Or tulips. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
tulips. What month of the year is the shortest, Mike?
Scott's.
No, it's May, because it only has 3 letters.
3 letters.
All right. Now, some thoughts for the day. All right. Woke up a little grumpy. First thought was, if karma doesn't hit you, I gladly will. My favorite party trick, not going. I think instead of have a nice day, I'm going to start saying have the day you deserve and let karma sort things out. I've used that one before, I think.
I like that, actually.
Yeah. The older I get, the less surprised I think I'd be if a random body part just fell off.
Okay.
Because so many things are going wrong. Why do we spend so much time looking for intelligent life on other planets? I'd be happy to find intelligent life right here on Earth first.
In Congress.
All right. Next time somebody rolls their eyes at you, just say, maybe you'll find a brain back there if you keep trying. And people think I go out of my way to make them mad, especially about politics, but trust me, it's not out of my way at all. Today, if
So
there's...
you got a 3-hour head start on us to irritate us.
Yes, I can come up with all sorts of things.
Right.
If you meet someone you don't like today, the proper thing to say to them is sorry to have met you.
I had to think about that one for a minute.
Back in the Mike's day, people used to take photos that actually had people in them instead of food or cats. There's no reason to tailgate me when I'm doing 50 and a 35, and those flashing lights on top of your car look really ridiculous. All right. During labor, the pain is so great that a woman can almost imagine what a man feels like when he has a fever. I'm almost done. I wish I could lose weight as easily as I lose my keys, my pen, my cell phone, my temper, and even my mind. All right. And sometimes I think that God is creating man. Let me start over, please. I sometimes think that God, in creating man, somewhat overestimated his abilities. And the last one, when a man steals your wife, there's no better revenge than to let him keep her. Wow. All right.
Ooh, you were on a roll this
I was
morning.
on a roll. All right.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, I was going to say, boy,
All right.
you must have thought about that.
Sort of. Well, no, if I would have thought about it, I would have realized it was all a bad idea, Mike.
Okay, all right. So you didn't think about it.
I didn't think about it. One last funny. This was a story from yesterday. Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. He's one of the the fake news broadcasters, or the funny news broadcasters. They usually just make fun of, stories that are actually real. But he posted this on Instagram. He says, a lot of people are not drinking Bud Light because the company used a trans person in their ad. In fact, they've been shooting Bud Light beer cans all over the internet.
Right.
He says, and these mostly right-wing Bud Light customers have tossed all their Bud Lights in trash in a blind rage. And it got me thinking. So now they cut it off. Sorry, I have to scroll back up. It got me thinking with what if we got trans people, hear me out, to do ads for guns. I like it. Yeah. All right. Moving on to community events. We already gave you a little tease, but here comes Mike Benthowitz. What's happening around Chewelah? All right. You got all muffled there, buddy.
Right.
There you go.
But I'm going to remind people. So if Scott says it and I said it, then you got to do it.
Okay.
All
All
right. Well, first of all, let's talk about citywide cleanup.
All right.
Okay. That is coming up on Earth Day, which is the 22nd of April. And I actually am old enough to remember the very first Earth Day back in the 70s.
Wow.
But it wasn't when they created Earth. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. But I remember it was a really big deal in Missoula, Montana when they did that because they tied it into another day called Arbor Day.
Arbor Day,
isn't it? Arbor Day. No,
Arbor.
they have actually Arbor Day.
Okay. It's Montana.
Which ended up being plant trees like Arbor Day, but then they had this big party out at Rodeo Ground.
Okay. Welcome to Montana.
The party got so big. The party got so big that Olympia Beer used to bring in semis.
Wow.
But then they had to stop it for all kinds of reasons you can imagine.
Sure.
So anyway, let's get back to citywide cleanup. Coming up on the 26th of April, you need to meet at the Napa parking lot from 8 a.m. to 12. Go ahead and bring your brooms, bring your shovels, bring your blowers, your leaf blowers. They've got things they can hand you, but if you bring your own, you'll have ownership. How's that sound?
Okay.
And it'll fit your hands better.
You said the 26th, but it's actually the 22nd, correct?
I said the 22nd.
The first time, and then you changed it.
Okay.
Right. Just keeping you on task.
22nd.
All right. Okay.
It's a Saturday. And then this is new this year. If you show up, Scott.
Yes.
You'll get a free T-shirt.
Really?
Yeah. So, you get free T-shirts. And when it's done at 12 o'clock, there will be the famous or infamous barbecue for all that show up. And what's a little bit unique this year is Sunshine Disposal is donating a couple of big dumpsters that I believe are going to be over by City Hall in that kind of parking area along Clay Street, I think it is. And so they're encouraging people to go ahead and clean their yards up and bring some of that stuff that's hard to get to the transfer station or you don't want to pay $45 a ton to take it there.
Okay.
They won't take appliances, some of the things or hazardous material, but it's an opportunity for you to clean up your yard, clean up your alley, clean up your shed, clean up your whatever to help beautify Chewelah.
All right. What a good cause. And if you don't do it, you'll still get a T-shirt, but it'll say, "I voted for Inslee." Sorry.
Okay. Well, you could get away with that only in Stevens County. You know that?
Yes. Everybody's going to show up to clean now.
Yep, exactly.
Don't want to get stuck with one of those shirts.
Right. Also, I want to remind people, don't forget the chamber bucks.
Okay.
Chamber bucks, you can stop by the chamber office and get those in any denomination. And they're great for gifts, employee rewards, anniversaries, you name it. And the nice thing about our chamber bucks, the Chewelah chamber bucks, is they're 100% redeemable at about 40 different businesses in town. So they're treated effectively like cash. So, and there's no premium. So if you get $100 worth of chamber bucks, the chamber gives you $100 back. So it's not like there's a 10% off the top as a fundraiser.
Okay.
These are really designed to support the local business community in itself. So, and then move on to I didn't realize this, but it's the 13th annual city garage sale, citywide garage sale. Do you realize it's been around 13 years?
No.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm thinking, wow, I've been here 10 years. So I know it's been at least 10 years, so it makes sense. But the citywide garage sale is always the first Saturday in May, which happens to be May 6th this year. And as Scott made a comment earlier, if you want to get an ad in the paper showing, which will have a big map of where you're at, it has to be in by next Wednesday, so the 19th. But it's a big event, and I've been through it, rain or shine or snow, and it's still busy. People come from far away to attend the Chewelah Citywide Garage Sale. So it's a great way to get rid of your treasures.
Or add some more.
Or add some more.
Or add some more.
Exactly. Okay, and then as you actually mentioned earlier too, you just wanted to fire me and get rid of me.
No.
Oh, okay. The Chewelah Center for the Arts is on the April 22nd in the afternoon from 1 to 4. They're going to have an artist cleanup sale. And basically this is put together by yours and my friend Joel Wasinski as an idea that artists collect things and things are things they've made, some creative type stuff, and it's an opportunity for them to clean off their shelves.
All right.
And so, my gut feel says there's going to be some really cool, unique items there. And it's from 1 to 4 in the afternoon at the Chewelah Center for the Arts, or some people refer to it as the PACA building. So you come to Chewelah, you can clean up the city, and then you can go to an art show basically that afternoon and pick up some fine art. So it's a win-win-win to be in Chewelah that day.
And I will point out that the Chewelah Center for the Arts does not want you to refer to it as the PACA building.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was thinking about that. You know how hard that is to do?
I know.
And I got to do something to irritate Sharon.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Hi,
She always
Sharon.
listens. Yeah. Okay. Good morning, Sharon. Are you working this morning at now what's the name of that building?
Chewelah Center for the Arts. Stop it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. So let's move on to the Creative District. As I think I know I've announced before, that Washington Federal has designated the Creative District as the business of the month. And so the community mural mosaic, the community mosaic that was done through Winterfest and then at the art show is now on display there. It's pretty impressive. It's been framed, it's on a tripod, and it's big and heavy. But I was in there the other day, and there were at least 3 people that were there, stopped by just to take a look at it and see if they could figure out which tile was theirs, because there's 144 tiles on this. They're all 4x4, and it is very, very cool. And I want to put a shout out and thanks to Brad Schaefer and Chuck Ritchie They're the ones that custom framed it, put the plexiglass in it, and actually built the tripod that it's on.
All right.
And so, but yeah, stop by and take a look at it. There's all kinds of information there on the Creative District, how you can volunteer. And we're always looking, like everybody, for volunteers. But, you know, a lot of people, we get a lot of our ideas from the volunteers. And so you've got the ability to have input as far as what direction you want the Creative District to do at the same time. And then also, your friend of mine, Kat Brooks, has got her Northern Lights display inside of the Washington Federal Building. And a lot of people don't realize that Washington Federal's got a little mini gallery in there. And one of the goals, I guess, of the Creative District is to get local artists displaying in there. And and when you're here, Scott, if you got the time, I'd stop by and take a look at it.
Okay.
You know, Kat does phenomenal work anyway. And I mean, Loretta and I have already bought one of the pieces, and it's phenomenal, the work she did this year on the Northern Lights. So, and everything in there is for sale. I'll just point that out. But and all the information how to contact her and things like that is there.
Okay.
The other thing on the Creative District is, as you're aware, just like the radio show, we were fortunate enough to get a grant from the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation or Arts Fund. And the beautiful thing about this grant is it's non-restricted, which means that we can utilize it for pretty much anything as long as it's arts or culture related. And last night, the board made a decision that we are going to go ahead and put together some adult art classes. We posted just on our Facebook page a kind of a if you like this, like it, and we'll do it type thing, you know, art classes. And within 48 hours, we had 97 people saying yes.
It's a
So
good
I think
sign.
that's a pretty good sign, yeah.
Yeah.
So the board approved that last night. So part of the funding on this will underwrite those art classes to some degree. And then Kim Thomas, who I don't know if you've ever met Kim Thomas.
I have not.
She does a lot of work on the digital marketing side. She's the one that's actually put together a proposal on this. And so the art classes were, at this point, will be at the Huff Building, potentially courtside, Fire to Pizza. You know, they're going to build that itinerary classes with the idea that hopefully we can start them around July 1st. Yeah, we're really, really excited about doing that, plus the arts fund itself and the grant. And I just want to say thank you to the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation for recognizing Chewelah and KCHW.
Yes,
because
very nice.
You had said, yeah, it was very nice. Then the retail strategies, just a quick update on that. For those that are listening that don't know what that is, that was an initiative put together by the city and the chamber in effectively contracting a firm that specializes in rural communities as far as revitalization and brand awareness. And so that'll work has started actually quite a while ago. And at the city council meeting on Wednesday night, what we call the 4 pillars, which are economic vitality, policy administration, downtown design, and tourism and promotion, made a presentation to the city council, and the city council approved the use of some of the ARPA funds as seed money to start some of these programs. And the power in that is what I mean by approved, they don't give it to you. It's like a letter of intent that if you do this, we'll do that, you know, that type of thing.
Okay.
So what that does is it ensures that anything that's put in place is going to happen instead of just rolling the dice and hoping it happens, if that makes sense. And so thank you to the city council for doing that. And because of that, relatively shortly, and relatives probably next year, you're going to see some things happening downtown. You know, there's new banners going up. That's actually a different grant, but those should be going up in the next month. You're going to see some crosswork type work. You're going to see some facade improvement stuff. The festivals that have been earmarked are the Fall Festival, a Holiday Festival, which is the city sidewalks in the past, a Winterfest, and then a Huckleberry Festival. And putting those together is going to take time. And so it'll probably start this fall and then work into next year. So thank you for all the people involved in getting that done, because I know on my part of it, when I talked to Retail Strategies, when my team built the presentation, the guy at Retail Strategy said, I wish that every company or every community we work with were as well organized and as focused as you people are.
Nice.
So kudos to the Chewelah as a whole. And I didn't realize this, but in the opening remarks the other night, there were in excess of 50 people and businesses involved in this, which is huge.
Yeah.
Very huge.
That's
And
like
so,
everybody in town.
Pretty much, yeah. You start looking at the people involved, and it's kind of like the who's who's, 49 Degrees North, the golf course, the chamber, the casino, downtown businesses, a variety of different ones. And so when you get that strong a community involvement, then things are going to happen.
All right.
And so as you see things pop up either on the KCHW or in the paper or Facebook pages, social media, whatever, looking for input, the groundwork's been laid. So, basically, if you want to say and you want to have some input as it moves forward, show up and play. I mean, that type of thing. So, and I know we had Larry Fetter on last week, and he's working on the Parks and Recreation side. That survey is out there. Thanks, Scott, for posting it on the website for the Parks and Rec stuff. I know that he's hitting that pretty hard because the more input you get from the populace, the better that program is going to look.
Well, and that was kind of, if you didn't catch last Wednesday's show, check it out on Facebook or YouTube, because Larry did that was an excellent interview. And what was really crazy about it, I bet you over the past week, I've had at least 50, 60 shares on that survey that they want locals to take. So it's really getting out there. You'll be able to find it all over the place because, I was getting 5 to 10 notifications every day that somebody was sharing that poll. So it's important which shows how important it is to people in the city. So
it is. And when they built that survey, it's very straightforward. I hate the word simple, but it's very simple. It takes 5 minutes, maybe, if that, to complete it. Which, sometimes when you get these surveys, an hour and a half later, you're not done with it yet. But this one because I've done it, and I can guarantee you it only takes a few minutes. And all that, I think his goal, if I remember right, was to be able to pull all that information together for a presentation on priorities in June. I think the window closes in June for that. So, but I think, this is my own personal opinion here, but I believe it's being done right by going for a grant and contracting somebody that's actually from Chewelah, that's moved back here, that did 40 years of park and recreation in a variety of different communities, and building a plan. As he said, there's a fair amount of dollars out there available for Parks and Rec, but if you don't have a plan, it's not available. And that's a typical Chewelah type thing. You've got these highly skilled, very robust individuals that live in this community as assets that they're willing to tap their resources to help get things done. That's based on my experience in a variety of different communities I've lived in. That's very, very, very unique. So congratulations to Chewelah.
All right. Now, wait a minute. You said you don't like the word simple, but you use it all the time when you refer to me.
Yeah, but that's a compliment.
Oh, okay. Scott keeps it really simple.
Well, the old KISS principle.
Yes. Yeah.
Keep it simple, then whatever you want to use that last word. That's what environment I was in.
I didn't know that was an open-ended S.
There's an open-ended S. Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else on your list today?
I normally do the golf course thing, but I think
We're going to
we'll
leave
wait till
that
we
for
get
Mike.
yours.
All right.
Yeah, we'll leave that for
For
Mike
the other
Hall.
Mike. All right,
For
I
the
have
other Mike.
one then, and that is can we throw out your party for this weekend so that people that want to see you, or are you worried about too many people showing up or violence or
Well, it's not my comfort zone by any means, but there is a going away, thank you, whatever you want to call it. Throw items at Mike party. Tomorrow or 15th, I guess, at the clubhouse from 3 to 6 in the afternoon. And if you do plan on attending, they're providing hors d'oeuvres. So if you could call the Rusty Putter and let them know, that type of thing. But yeah, Loretta and I really debated. That's not our wheelhouse. I mean, we believe in helping communities, but from the background. And so it's we've never done this before, frankly. So it's way out of our comfort zone.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell my kids when something's out of their comfort zone is suck it up. You deserve it.
Yeah.
No, really, Mike, being retired adds people some abilities to give back. And
Right.
you and Loretta have embraced that, and you've embraced that when you moved to Chihuahua, and you've got a very good skill set. You were in the business world in finance for years, and you've used those skills to share with organizations, and everyone you've touched, including KCHW, you have made better. So thank you for giving to our community, and just because you're moving, we're not going to let him stop giving because he's still going to be on the radio every Wednesday.
That's
So,
right.
there you go.
Well, I tell people as long as it seems to be relevant. So,
All right.
and I'm gone with Scott. So relevancy is a term that maybe
Kind of a
isn't
moot point.
appropriate. Exactly.
But yeah, big round of
But yeah.
applause for you and Loretta. 'Cause she has to
Well,
put up with
thanks.
that. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's an old saying that somebody told me a long time ago because I'm really pretty humble. And this guy, I was telling this guy because I had an industry meeting I was a platform speaker on, and I was saying, why me and blah, blah, blah. And this really good friend of mine said, Mike, if you don't blow your own horn, somebody will use it as a spittoon.
Wow.
And I never forgot about that.
I remember that from having a job and having a boss tell me, you got to blow your own horn once in a while.
Right. Exactly.
Keep yourself,
But it's definitely.
top of mind, right? Okay. All right. We are a few minutes before the top of the hour and our guest, Mike Hall, but I think we have time for this.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
It usually says that about me, but it's Mike.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Immediately. All right, Mike, you're going to make it easy on you today. Just a couple questions. This happens
Okay.
every 45 seconds in the U.S., and it's a bad thing. Destroy your life. Happens every 45 seconds in the U.S. Well, destroy portions of your life.
Oh, okay.
At least put it upside down.
You get sick.
No, let's see. Around the new time of the year, there's an agency that will warn you to do this to help prevent it. Every 45 seconds, this happens in the U.S. and to families.
Oh, really? Divorce?
No, looking for house fire. All right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Check
Really?
that
Every
smoke
45
detector.
seconds?
Every 45 seconds in the U.S., a house catches fire.
Okay.
All right. Got a weekend project planned? There are 16,000 of these in the United States. What are they?
Weekend project plan, 16,000 of these?
Yes. Do you have? That's just a question. Do you have a weekend project planned? Question mark. Well, we have 16,000 of these in the United States.
I want to say breweries.
That's for afterwards.
Oh, okay. 16,000 is the United Weekend Project. Man, my mind is just not here today. Farmers markets.
Hardware stores, Mike.
Well, I was close.
Not really.
Well, but if I say farmers market, then that implies that you're going to the farmers market and you're a do-it-yourself type person, which means you're going to be talking to vendors that will help you plant, that will help you.
You should,
I can make it work. I can make it work.
You can keep trying. All right.
You know, Scott, you know what?
What?
Let it be.
Let it be. All right. I'm going to make it easy for you. How about answer wrong and win?
Okay.
Answer wrong and win. What you use to wipe a runny nose?
Coffee cup.
Ow. Actually, correct answer, sleeve of the person closest to you. Ew. An event you'd like to see, an event you'd see at the Olympics.
Beer drinking.
Ooh, that'd be good. I put that right behind my first choice, waterboarding. Maybe not. Okay. Something you can deduct from your taxes.
This show.
Oh, doing this show. I'm sorry, Mike. I thought for you it'd be cheesecake. What do you mean I can't deduct cheesecake from my taxes? Something. Okay, go ahead.
The other day somebody told me that actually I was talking to a guy from the Washington tourism thing and on in-kind services and how to value those on a grant. And he said nationally it's $29 an hour is what you can claim.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, think of all the time I put into KCHW on public service.
Wow. You've racked up some bucks.
I racked up some bucks, yeah.
All right. We're going to have to apply for a grant for that for you, Mike. Sorry. Might not go through. All right. Last answer wrong and win. Something you might do while vacationing at a lake.
Well, what I was going to say you could do, hunt.
Hunt?
Have you ever hunted fish?
I have not.
With a rifle or with a firearm?
No, but I'm sure someone in Stephen County has.
Yeah. Well, you know.
The only one that came to my mind for something you might do while vacationing at a lake, I figured I shouldn't say because it was drowning. Or drowning. Huh.
Yeah, that's a downer. This is an upbeat show.
This is an upbeat show. We never say anything like that.
That's right.
All right, when we come back, we will go back to being serious, maybe. All right. You said Mike's really nervous.
Yeah, he was when I talked to him yesterday. He was a little bit nervous, but he'll do fine.
Oh, that's awesome. Stick around. We'll have fun with Mike when we come back from the Chewelah Golf and Country Club. It is Northern Lights Public Radio, and we are KCHW 102.7.
Pizza. Oh, this is the best pizza in a cup ever. This guy's unbelievable. He ran the old cup of pizza guy out of business. People come from all over to get this.
It's 8:04.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.
All right.
Okay, so he's in the green room?
Yeah, but I see a phone number and the pro shop, which is weird. 6807.
Yeah, that's the golf course phone number.
I wonder why both of them are in there. All right, I'm going to let the pro shop in and we'll talk to him.
Okay, yeah. Oh, there he is.
All right. Hi, Mike.
Well, he's connecting to audio.
Oh, there we go. Do we have you, Mike? There we go. Maybe?
No. Huh. So what's that when it says connecting to audio?
There he goes. Now
there
it looks
he
like
is.
there
he is.
Can you hear us, Mike?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right.
Okay. All right. We've been watching you for a while.
I had somebody else calling in from a phone number. Was that something you started, Mike?
Yeah, that was me, yeah.
Okay, so you're back on just the computer. We're good.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Mike, I'm just saying hi, and then we're going to let the news feed through because this it doesn't go out over the radio, but it does go out over Facebook and YouTube while we're talking behind the scenes. So I'm going to send the news back down the line. We have about 5 minutes until we come live to you, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
So just hang in right there, and we'll be back.
Sounds good.
Along with the Federal Fair Housing Act, most states have their own fair housing laws preventing housing discrimination. Virginia updated their fair housing law in 2020 to ensure that if a person uses money from a rental assistance program or subsidy, they can't be discriminated against. But despite these protections, Laura Dobbs with the Virginia Poverty Law Center says discrimination still occurs.
I think a common one that we still see despite these protections is a landlord who might post something on advertising for housing that says no voucher holders, like does not take vouchers because that is illegal, or otherwise representing that there's housing that's unavailable because someone says they have a voucher.
Dobbs adds there was a rise in this kind of discrimination throughout the pandemic, and it is happening across the U.S. Fair housing complaints are on the rise. According to the National Fair Housing Alliance, 2021 saw more than 31,000 housing complaints, an almost 9% increase from 2020. I'm Edwin J. Vieira.
Now from the New York Times, the Manhattan DA Tuesday sued Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio in an extraordinary step intended to keep congressional Republicans from interfering in the office's criminal case against former President Donald Trump. The Times reports the 50-page suit filed in federal court in the Southern District of New York accuses Jordan of a brazen and unconstitutional attack on the prosecution of Trump and a transparent campaign to intimidate and attack the DA, Alvin Bragg. This is Public News Service. After Congress rolled back a pandemic-era policy that prohibited states from dropping Medicaid recipients from their rolls, 15 million people in Colorado and across the U.S. are expected to lose their health insurance, even if they remain eligible.
Mark Williams with the Colorado Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing, which oversees Medicaid in the state, says people may no longer be eligible for a number of reasons. They may now have a job that pays too much to qualify.
Or they may have access to employer-sponsored coverage that they didn't have previously. So we anticipate that there will be approximately 325,000 people who will need to find other coverage options when their renewal comes along.
Nearly half of those expected to be dropped from Medicaid rolls are people of color. About 80% of those currently enrolled are expected to still be eligible for coverage, but Williams says most will need to go through the eligibility process to keep their insurance. The most important thing people should do now is update their mailing address, email, and phone number so they can receive necessary paperwork. I'm Eric Galatas.
And new research by an Indiana nonprofit coalition reveals areas for innovation that could help minimize food insecurity.
The report says technology could be developed to educate more people about healthy food choices or create food products that are more nutritious and affordable. It says the private sector can play a bigger role in these innovations. Mitch Frazier, president and CEO of Agrinova Indiana, says combating food insecurity will take an all-hands-on-deck approach.
It's a portfolio of solutions that will best connect food supply and food demand. Food pantries will be a piece of it. Retail grocery will be a piece of it. Technology will be a piece of it. But ultimately, this can't be on any one of those individual points alone. This has to be a portfolio solution.
Agrinovus Indiana partnered with Purdue Ag to identify these opportunities for innovation, and they can't come soon enough. I'm Joey Graham reporting.
And finally, our Danielle Smith reminds us that April is National Volunteer Month.
Research shows volunteering can help increase a person's quality of life and improve both physical and mental health by keeping their brain engaged and active. And volunteer Joan Dill with AARP Arkansas says helping hands are needed just about everywhere, from food banks to nursing homes to schools and veteran centers. Dill adds many charitable organizations could not do their work without volunteers. years.
We have a lot of people who have food insecurity. And so volunteering at a food bank is very much needed. It takes a lot of work.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Here are some radio stations, big and small, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7 live on a Wednesday with Scott Allen and Mike Bentz. And now we get to welcome our guest to our Zoom studio. It's Mike Hall. Welcome to KCHW, Mike.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
All right. We'll give you a little round of applause. We like to do that just because you showed up. Okay, Mike said...
I like Mike's hairdo.
It's much better than yours.
You know what they call that?
Yeah,
you know what they call that kind of haircut, right?
What's that?
Fire it before it quits.
Well, Scott's got on his greaser look this morning.
It's right. I got it all pulled back. All right.
All pulled back, yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I didn't know Mike, and I wanted to look respectable when he showed up instead of having that fuzzy hair all over. So, all right. Or I didn't, maybe you told me he was bald, and I didn't want to make him feel bad.
I refuse to divulge information.
Okay, all right. He didn't, Mike. I'm sorry. This is going to be confusing. We have two mics. All right. Mr. Mike Hall, tell us a little bit, since you've never been on the show before. I know you've been up at the Golf and Country Club. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you made it to Chewelah.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Spokane, Washington, lived there most of my life, moved down to Scottsdale, Arizona, spent a couple of years down there just being a golf bum. Played a little on the tour down there and decided that, the Pacific Northwest is home. So I made my move back here in early 2000. And then I ended up here playing at the Chewelah Golf Course for the first time and absolutely fell in love with it. It is a beautiful, serene place. We're kind of remote up here in Chewelah, which is absolute positive. Yeah, from the busy lifestyle and the hubbub of a bigger city, it's nice to come up here and it's quiet, it's quaint, it's serene. And I just absolutely fell in love with it, started playing golf up here. And then I basically kind of wanted to jump on board and get back into the industry. And so I'm going through the PGA of America program. And this is my third year returning back to Chewelah as the first assistant golf professional.
All right. So tell us a little bit about that position as the first assistant golf professional and what you do.
So essentially, I'm here to assist the head pro or GM, director of golf. We're basically going to open up the golf course. We're going to greet our guests and our members, welcome them, show them where they need to go if they've never been here before, get them set up with their tee time, and get them out on the golf course so they can have a great time. We set up a couple tournaments a year, so there's some planning on that, as well as scoring and hosting some tournaments. We also have other events that we host throughout the year. So we're just here to support and provide a really excellent, experience for our guests, our members.
All right. So go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I was going to say, so one of the reasons I was thinking about treating on the show is we get asked a lot, have been for a while now, when's the golf course going to open and what kind of conditions in and when can they get tee times and, all those fun things.
Sure. So we're targeting to open on April 15th, this Saturday. And the golf course is in excellent condition. In fact, we really are lucky with the crew that we have, that they work really, really hard. I mean, we have a 27-hole facility. We take tee times for the 18-hole course. They can make those tee times 14 days in advance. Our members can make those 30 days in advance. And the golf course coming out of the winter is in absolutely fantastic shape. We have bent grass greens, which are one of our highlights, manicured fairways, 4 sets of tees that you can play off of. And so you can essentially give the golf course a phone call and set up your tee time, or you can do that as well online. That's at ChewellaGolf.com.
Oh, wow, that's a cool feature that you can even do it online. Is that new?
No, we've actually offered that to our members and our guests for quite a while, since the website's been up. So.
All right. So if somebody is out there and they're listening this morning and they've never golfed up there, what could you tell them about the Chewela Golf and Country Club?
Well, we are a mountain type golf course. What that means is we have some elevation change, but it's carved through coniferous trees. So we're tree lined, it's not open, which is kind of nice when it's hot summer months. You can kind of provide some shade, and it's beautiful up here. It's really easy, it's nice on the eyes. We have a 27-hole facility. We have a full championship 18-hole golf course, as well as a 9-hole championship golf course. Essentially, just kind of really quickly, a 9-hole course was built first, then we added another 9, and then we added another 9. And so we offer 27 holes of golf. And what's great about that is if we do have a tournament that's occupying the 18-hole course, our guests and our members can enjoy that 9-hole course instead of just kind of skipping out and missing out on a day of golf.
You don't find many golf courses with 27 holes, do you?
No, we are, I believe we're the only inland Northwest 27-hole golf course facility.
Yeah, I think there's only one actually even east of the Cascades.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's pretty unique. So one of the things that, hopefully we're going to continue this year is on the 9-hole course, you do not have to get tee times ahead of time. Is that still going to be true this year?
That is correct. We just offer that 9-hole course as a first come, first serve, which is really nice. In fact, a couple of years that I've seen where that really comes into advantage is I see Sunday afternoons. It just seems like people are enjoying other surrounding activities at the lake and the river. They're camping or they're just barbecuing. They're like, you know what else are we gonna do in the afternoon? Let's go up to Chewela and play the 9-hole course, and they can just walk right on and tee it up and get a quick 9 holes of golf in.
Well, and just from a personal perspective, the 9-hole course is flat. It's pretty easy. It's pretty wide open. And so to me, it's a relaxing round of golf. And if you're brand new, like Scott would be out there, people won't laugh at him. So,
yeah, that's right. I mean, we kind of, that 9-hole course is more forgiving than the 18-hole course. Or 18-hole course is pretty challenging. But the 9-hole course is if somebody would like to walk, a lot of people like to walk and get their exercise when they're playing golf. And that 9-hole course offers that. It like Mike said, it's a little more flat. And it's just really nice. What's really awesome about it is when you go out there and you walk a quick 9 holes, you finish right by, a little pond and the outdoor restaurant area where, it's just, you got a little gallery and some people cheer and it's kind of nice. And then after that, little quick 9 holes, and you can go out there and enjoy your beverage of choice or sit down and have a meal that our Rusty Putter Bar and Grill offers.
All right. Yeah, my history with the Chewela golf course is actually I played the 9-hole course the first time in 1984. And at that point, it was only a 9-hole course. But I remember a relative and I, kind of this thing you're talking about. We were here for a birthday party for Loretta's mom, and we were bored, because the party wasn't going to start. So Sam goes, well, don't they have a golf course there? Let's just go and play a quick round of golf. And that's exactly what that's designed for. It's kind of like a spur of the moment thing. When I played it the first time around, a lot of the homes weren't there, so airplanes would fly in over the fairways. The first time one came in, I'm going, okay, is it going to land on the fairway? What's the deal here? Because I didn't even know there was an airport.
It's kind of unique to our golf course too. We do have a 3,800-foot lighted airstrip, and it's really cool because when you're out on the golf course, like you said, Mike, it doesn't matter whether you're on the 9-hole course or the 18-hole course. You'll see airplanes take off and land, you kind of, what's really cool, this is one unique special thing about Chewelah that you only get here is you can see that when you're on the fairway or on the tee box or even the green, you can stop and just kind of take that in and just take, 30 seconds and watch an airplane take off or land. It's just really, really unique to Chewelah and our golf facility that you can just kind of enjoy.
Okay, so Mike, I'm a little rusty. Can I get some help from the pro shop?
Well, 100%. I do offer lessons here. We can do single lessons. We can do a quick hitter lesson. I do a series of lessons as well as couples. And essentially, I'm going to teach the fundamentals of the game of golf, some etiquette. I can also do a playing lesson where we kind of critique your ability to make decisions on the golf course, because it really is, as we all know, it's 90% mental. So, I offer lessons to the individual as well as group lessons. We also, what's cool is we offer a junior program here at Chewelah Golf and Country Club. I host that in the third week of June. Those ages range from 7 to 17, and it's a 4-day camp. We provide instruction on etiquette, skills. It's 4 days, and on the last day, we invite the kids' families to go out on the golf course and play a couple holes. They usually go out there for a couple hours and get to enjoy that 9-hole course, and then a barbecue after that. And I'm going to go ahead and post like a mailing starting in May, and we'll have a little sign-up sheet there.
Okay.
And I think that that's Scott and I talk a lot about, or especially Scott talks a lot about things that kids can do in Chewelah. And that golf camp is huge. I mean, you get 60 to 80 kids there for those 4 days. Yeah. And I'd like to point out and thank the members up here, because with the exception of Mike and some other people in the pro shop, it's all volunteers.
Yeah.
I know I've had my granddaughters there 3 times, I think now, and they do a good job, really, really good job.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it without the volunteers. You're 100% right, Mike. Obviously, I direct it and I coordinate it, but it wouldn't be possible without the volunteers. And I usually see about 12 volunteers. I have about 6 stations, so I usually have 2 volunteers per station. But it just does not happen without that volunteer. And it's, like you said, it's just a big tribute to that.
Go ahead, Scott.
No, go ahead. You keep on your line, because mine's a little off topic or a new topic. So go ahead.
Okay. So one of the things the golf course has offered in the past is juniors can play for free with a paying adult. Is that still a program that's going to be available for 2023?
That's 100% true. And we love to offer that and support that. It's really, really important to grow the game and keep the game growing and provide interest. Golf is kind of a difficult industry to keep alive, obviously, with the agriculture and just the agronomy and also the interest. So that's one thing that we offer to hopefully, boost the interest in the community with juniors to get active with golf, because golf is great. You get great exercise. It's much like life. Sometimes you hit a great shot and get a bad bounce. Sometimes you hit a poor shot and you get a good bounce. So there's a lot to learn where you can take with golf and apply it to life.
So decades ago, when I went to high school in Chewelah, there was a golf program at the high school. Does that still exist today?
It does. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know much about it. I'm still kind of getting my finger on the pulse on that, but they do. The high school does offer a golf team. And so I believe Brian Harding was the coach. I believe he's stepping down this year after a long tenure. But they do offer a golf team at Chewelah High School.
All right. Well, this is a great opportunity then, your youth program for kids that might be thinking about taking golf when they get to high school and stuff. They can experience it a little earlier and get into it, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And that's really, that's kind of the intent and the plan, is to basically plant the seed of just another activity that's really good for you as far as healthy, and it's a, you know, and it's a lifelong thing that you can you know, you can play with your friends, your family, and it's really something that you can connect with other people with and do it for a long time, your whole lifetime.
And I think some people that don't play don't realize what a great exercise it is. They think, oh, you're just out walking around, you know, hitting a ball. But it is actually a whole day on the golf course is a workout.
It can be, yeah. Or it could be as little as a couple hours. Like I said, what's great about our 9-hole course is if you only have 2 hours to really, you only have 2 hours free, you can go out there. Or if you want to go and tackle the 18-hole course, it usually takes about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and I think one of the things that comes across a lot is there's a perception that golf is expensive, and it really isn't. I mean, if you were to compare it to skiing, it's comparable or even less to begin with. But from a junior standpoint, I know for years the Chewelah Golf Course has done fundraisers to provide clubs and things like that for people that come on as for juniors. And I believe that, and you can correct me, Mike, but I think that program's still there, that if you want to come up, as long as we have a paying adult, and that's for liability and control issues on the 9-hole course, we still can provide the clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a full set of adult rentals and junior rentals. And most of the time, I mean, when a junior's out playing, we're really not gonna, you know, we basically just supply those golf clubs to those juniors so they can go out and enjoy themselves.
All right.
Yeah, but it's important to note that a lot of juniors want to drive the golf carts.
Yeah. Well, and so typically, obviously, we would rather see at least someone with their license, a 16-year-old driving a golf cart. But I know that I am, you know, with an adult, if they're in the cart, they're usually just kind of sitting in front of that driver and just kind of holding the steering wheel and just assisting. But but like I said, it's nice to get out there and walk a little bit too. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to, you know, Anna Davis, you know, she, I'll let you talk about Anna, but, you know, they're good Chewelah Golf Course members and have been for years. So why don't you give us an update on Anna and what she is, or who she is, and why it's important to recognize that name?
Well, Anna Davis, I've only, since I've been up here just for a few years, not known her that much, but what I do know of her and seen of her in the last couple of years is Anna Davis and Billy Davis are twins. They are siblings, and they come up here and spend their summers up here at Chewelah Golf Course. They live on the course there, and they come and use our facility and play and practice. But Anna, Billy is quite accomplished as well, but Anna, I believe in 2022 won the Augusta National Women's Amateur, which is really it's a high accomplishment. It's very prestigious tournament to win, and she did that at the tender age of 16, which is quite incredible. She's gone on to win other tournaments, very high prestigious tournaments. She returned there this year to defend her title, but she's gone on to really excel in her amateur golf career.
All right.
And it's kind of nice to see that she's, you know, kind of calls Chewelah her second home. I think her primary home is out of California, but she does call Chewelah as her second home.
All right. You've got some other stuff up there for members or maybe friends of members, family coming to visit. You've got an RV park, tennis court, and I had never heard of the tennis court and the pickleball court either, but I knew the RV park was there. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah. We offer 27 full hookup sites in our RV park and 6 electric sites. That's kind of nice to offer when we are quite full. We offer some kind of overflow of parking, and at least they still have electric. So when it's really hot in July or August, you know, at least they can have that, you know, AC cool them off a little bit. And so we offer that. We can also take reservations by calling the golf course And then we also offer some other recreational activity, and that's those tennis courts and the pickleball courts. And they get used quite frequently. So it's kind of nice to see that as well.
Yeah, and those are really community assets. So you don't, the pickleball court and the tennis courts are open to the public. And you just kind of show up and see if there's a spot to play.
Yep.
All right. That was my next question. Is that for members only? And it is not. It's open to the public. Cool.
That's correct.
All right. I think rounding out your list of things that I wanted to ask you, we have Rusty Putter. What is the official 7 days a week date?
That will be this Saturday, April 15th. So once we open officially, the Rusty Putter Restaurant Bar and Grill will open for 7 days a week as well for that. And it's really, really awesome. I want to just touch a little bit on that. Like I said, we are a full restaurant, bar and grill. But really what's a highlight of that is the outdoor seating area is second to none. I've been to a lot of facilities, and the serene setting outside is beautiful. It's like I said, when you're out there, you're looking out, you see the 9th hole of the 9-hole course, the green there, and you can watch golfers come in and finish their round. And it's one of my favorite places to go right after a round of golf to, settle up some maybe bets and share a bet.
And, as somebody who's never learned how to golf, I love going up there and eating and setting on the back patio and just enjoying the scenery and the quiet and the woods. And it's amazing.
Yeah, about the only time when people are actually inside sitting down and eating in the summertime is if it's just too entirely hot outside. So most of the time it's not, but it's funny because that outdoor patio area will be full rather than the indoor seating.
All right, and Mr. Mike Bentz, you might be able to. I like to point it out too, is because we do give the golf course a lot of publicity, and they do support us as well. But something people might not realize about our golf course is while it's not a 501c, it is still a nonprofit corporation. Tell us a little bit about how that works, Mike.
I assume that's Mike. This Mike.
I meant you, because I know you've been on there, and I thought you might be able to speak to that a little bit better.
Yeah. The golf course was organized as a 501c, not for profit, versus a nonprofit like the radio station. And basically, what that means is all profits have to go back into the maintenance and the growth of the course. So, the importance of that is, from a member standpoint and a public standpoint, that play just enhances the facility. Instead of having it, if it's a for-profit type thing where we'd go to shareholders or members only or whatever, this doesn't do that. So nothing really goes back to anything except the golf course itself. And it's really, one of the things that jumped out at me quite a few years ago when I moved here is it's really a phenomenal community asset. The way I looked at it, and maybe I'm a little bit off base here, but to me, it's like Chewelah as a city has a 27-hole golf course that's not supported by city taxes. So it's self-sustaining, and that's a phenomenal asset to have in any community, not to mention this community the size of Chewelah. But it's also important why there's a concerted effort all times to bring people into it as a destination. And as Mike pointed out, by having it as a destination, that supports the entire community, whether it's real estate or restaurants or downtown or festivals or farmers market, you name it. So it's, one of the things that Chewelah is unique in is Chewelah was featured in a series called the Jewel of the Northwest a while back. And Mike, if you haven't got that video, I can definitely send it to you. But part of the Jewels of the Northwest reflect on the fact that you've got a top-tier ski area, a top-tier golf course, you've got the casino and the Great District all draw people to the area. And so it becomes a hub, a destination hub, and it will continue being a destination hub. And through the good work like Mike Hall, the golf course becomes one of those jewels inside of the Inland Northwest. So, I'm kind of doing my commercial here, but it is a not-for-profit, and that's important in that distinction that all profits have to go back into the maintenance and the growth of the facility. So,
all right. Thanks for clearing that up. Mr. Hall, have we missed anything on your list of stuff you wanted to tell folks about the golf course this year?
I don't think so. I just kind of want to maybe just reiterate, like I said, if those folks are tuning in a little later, we are targeting an open date of April 15th, which is a Saturday. You can go online and set up tee times, or by calling the pro shop, you can set those tee times up 15 days in advance. We do hold a couple tournaments a year. We have a tournament coming up actually called Bob McBride Memorial, which I believe we're having on the April 29th. We have flyers and posting and sign-up sheets out right now. That goes and that kind of working back a little bit, that helps to raise money for junior golf as well. And then we also have another tournament in July called the July 2-Man. And then we also have a 54-hole tournament that we host in September. So look for those flyers coming out about 30 days or so before those times.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's important if you've got a group and you want to do something, earlier is better than getting it established. Because once the summer hits, especially on the 18-hole side, those things are hard to come by as far as group tee times.
Yeah.
The 9-hole course is what I call the party course. So if you've got an anniversary, or if you've got a birthday party, or if you just want an employee outing, the 9-hole course is a phenomenal place to do that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I want to thank you very much for being on the show today. How about a phone number or email address if anybody had any questions about things you've told us today or wants to talk to you at the pro shop?
You bet. You can give us a call at 509-935-6807. And once again, that's 509-935-6807. Or you can go to our website at CheweelaGolf.com.
All right. Mike, it's like you've been on the radio before.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. All right. Once again, round of applause. Mike Hall from the Chewelah Golf and Country Club. There you go. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Please come back.
Guys.
You bet. All right. We're going to go to a quick break, and we will be back with odd news, local birthdays, and more. It's KCHW 102.7.
It's 8:37.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheweelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at CheweelahFlooring@gmail.com.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chewelah, 102.7 FM.
This portion of programming made possible by a donation from
New Health. Are you looking to get your COVID-19 booster? New Health is hosting a booster event in Chewelah with their mobile clinic. This event will be located at the City Park on May 4th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. No appointment required. Come and receive your booster or ask questions about the COVID-19 vaccine. Don't miss out on this opportunity to protect yourself and your loved ones. For more information, visit them at newhealth.org or call 509-935-6004. NeueHealth, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978. And we're back. Gonna wrap up the show with some fun stuff. You've got Scott Allen and Mike Bentz. And Mike, I think if I can find the right button here, I am all ready with local birthdays, and we've got a bunch of them today. First up, we have Caitlin McCanna having a birthday, Joey Culverwell, Kayla Howder, and Jessica Setti having a birthday today as well. We'll go with applause all the way around. If you know them, you see them around town, point and laugh, and tell them we talked about them on the radio. There you go. Whole bunch of them. You know, Jessica Setti, I think if Chihuahua was going to have a princess, it would be her.
Well, I was thinking more like a queen.
A queen. Oh, there you go. I hope she's listening at the hardware store and she hears this or somebody tells her about it. But I think so.
Yeah.
All right. How about some celebrity birthdays to go along with those local ones?
You bet. And actually, I recognize some of these.
Wow.
That means they're old.
That's right.
Okay, let's start out with Ed O'Neill. I think he's a phenomenal actor.
I loved Married with Children. Some people might have thought it was crass and tacky, but so am I. So.
Yeah, that's true too. You know, birds of a feather.
Yes,
type of thing.
yes. Watch together.
Yeah. Wasn't he on Taxi too?
He was not on Taxi. No.
Oh, okay. For some reason I think he was, but yeah, he's just a great comedic actor.
Yes.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have Dan Lauria from The Wonder Years. I have no idea who that is, but you probably do.
Nope.
Okay.
But he's 76.
And then we have the Montana Mountain Man, David Letterman.
He has definitely grown a mountain man beard.
Oh yeah, well he's got a big ranch in north central Montana too.
Huh?
And but yeah, you can't even recognize him.
76 today for David Letterman.
That's right. Well, and then we have Andy Garcia. The Ocean 11 movies, The Untouchables. And he's another really, really good actor. He is 67. Your old girlfriend, Shannon Doherty, is 52.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
Okay. Then we have a really classy lady. Claire Danes is 44.
Okay.
And then somebody I have no idea who it is. Jennifer Morrison is 44 from Once Upon a Time in House. And then this last one, I am going to attempt to pronounce their name. Cerise Ronan.
That's pretty good.
Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
From Lady Bird and Little Women, who's 29.
On to history, we call it happened today. 1892 is where we start out, and it was the first portable typewriter being patented. 1892. Jump all the way up to 1954, where Bill Haley and his Comets recorded Rock Around the Clock in New York City. Initially unsuccessful, the recording would help launch the rock and roll revolution, but a year later.
You know, you think of songs that never get out of your head.
That's one of them.
That's one of them. Yeah. Yep.
1955, polio vaccine developed by Dr. Jonas Salk was declared safe and effective, but no one believed him.
You remember? Good. Yeah, I remember in the 60s, the sugar cubes.
That's before my time, buddy.
That's how they administered the polio vaccine.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, I can't remember the series, but for some reason I'm thinking there were 4 of them, and that's how they gave you the polio vaccine, was in those little sugar cubes.
Didn't they do that with acid in the 70s?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I was only 10, me either, but I think so. All right.
You know, I was in my 20s, but
okay. 1961 was Yuri Gagarin becoming the first man to fly into space. That's right, he's a Russian. They beat us.
Venus, yeah.
1999, 75-year-old German war veteran apologized to an 87-year-old French woman for stewing her ham during World War II. Hans Cooper Fahrenberg said he was retreating to Normandy and was starving, but he never felt right about stewing Louise Marie's ham. So 55 years later, he returned to Normandy, found her, and brought her a ham.
That's a stand-up guy.
Yep. Here's a not so much of a stand-up guy. 2007 in California, man charged with stealing an ATM was caught when his artificial leg fell off. Get it? That was excellent timing for you to say stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy, yeah.
Then staying in 2007, the Forever stamp went on sale. I don't believe it. There's a conspiracy theory. 2020, a huge story. And, you know, if they were for other stamps, shouldn't you be able to reuse them?
That's true.
Yeah. 2020, huge storm system produced more than 40 tornadoes in the U.S. from Texas to South Carolina. Wow. All right. That almost happened this spring already. On to special events, we're going to do those with Mike Bentz because, well, it rhymes.
Hey, Scott, it's Drop Everything and Read Day.
Yay! We're out of here.
Do you know now where if you actually read a book, it's a badge of honor?
Ooh.
Versus a Kindle?
This is true.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, now we have the International Day for Street Children.
That's so sad.
That's sad, yeah, actually. And then we have the International Day of Human Space Flight.
Ooh.
And I see you've got your helmet on there.
I do.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, actually. Okay, then Bookmobile Day.
Oh, where's that
Do they
bookmobile?
even have bookmobiles anymore?
I don't know.
You know,
I haven't
that was
seen
a
one
big
in a long
thing
time.
when I grew up.
Yeah.
You know, they went to the neighborhoods basically,
Mm-hmm.
and you could check books out because the libraries were well, especially where I lived, they were quite a ways away. And how did you get there? You know, that type of thing.
Well, I know some cities still have them because we had an odd news story last week of somebody stealing a bookmobile. So they're still out there.
Okay. Well, you know, this is Loretta's Day.
Why is that?
It's Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. Oh, she makes the best grilled cheese sandwiches.
So you could challenge her with this one. You know what they do in Maine with their grilled cheese sandwich day, or with their grilled cheese sandwiches?
They put lobster on it.
And they do. They take a whole lobster tail, fillet it, and stick it in the middle of that grilled cheese sandwich, and it's actually really good.
It is.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. There's actually a restaurant in Spokane that opened that specializes in lobster rolls because I think that's what that is, right?
Yeah, but till it makes it to Spokane, it's going to be really fishy.
We're going to take away your comedic license.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
It's true,
well,
though.
This is the day that I don't care about. Licorice Day.
Oh man, so many people are against black licorice. I run into so many people because I love it, and they're like, "How can you eat that?" But I think it's amazing. And if you actually go to the plant, you can actually eat actual licorice root, and it tastes a lot like black licorice. So
really,
yep.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Well,
Taught
that's
you
your
something.
Scientific, yeah. Your positive PSA from Scott today.
There you go. My favorite, it's hard to find, favorite ice cream on the planet, licorice ice cream, because it looks like you're eating a tire.
Okay. Well, another reason I don't like it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It's the Only Child Day.
Oh.
You know, I come from a
Spoiled.
family of 6, and every one of us thought we were an only child.
All right.
Okay, this is the Unheralded Brian Tidwell Day.
Librarians Day?
School Librarian Day.
All right, there you go, librarians. Applause for all librarians. All right. And something Mike hasn't done in a few months.
Walk on my wild side?
Yes.
It's Walk on Your Wild Side Day.
There you go.
Yeah, you know.
And the question I have posed next is how many potato chips of a medium-sized potato, Mike?
Well, I know the answer, but it surprises me.
Okay.
36.
36. Sliced really, really thin.
Just think how many potatoes it takes to put a bag of potato chips together.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of potatoes.
Yep. And that's the only reason I'm happy about Idaho. All right, we got to wrap this show up. Let's do it this way.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, we kick off the odd news with the news attack, where the first part's true and the second part is a really bad joke. Kick it off, Mr. Bentz.
I love this first one. Oh, in Las Vegas, couples can now tie the knot in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Ooh.
Oh, you know, the old saying, love is like a hot dog. It's a bit mysterious, but it's always a treat.
Ew. And ladies, that should be your first sign that you're probably going to get divorced, is if he wants you guys to get married in the Wienermobile. Or if he tells you that in any fashion. All right. Get ready, folks, because tax deadline is next Tuesday, April 18th. It's a magical time of year when we all suddenly become math wizards, desperately trying to figure out if we can still claim our 30-year-old child as a dependent. And if he lives in your home and you provide over half his assistance, you can. Mom.
Okay, so Scott, you got to stop claiming mooch, though.
Oh. At least till she's 18.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, Scott, did you know that Tuesday, April 18th is tax deadline?
No.
Oh, yeah. You know what that means.
I'm my own sovereign nation?
Yeah, you're going to try that one too, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, it's time for everyone's favorite sport, trying to find the most creative ways to turn personal expenses into business deductions.
Uh-huh.
How can I claim my cat as an office security system?
That's right. She's here right now, too. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She asleep?
She is.
But how are you going to claim her as a security system?
Oh, she'll be on guard if I tell her to.
Oh, okay.
Or if I open a can of food. All right. On Tuesday, one of Russia's most active volcanoes erupted. You know, it's like they always say, when life gives you lava, make a tourist attraction. Except nobody wants to go to Russia.
Okay, you know, scientists think that humans developed eyebrows to express subtle emotions.
Okay.
Oh, they were basically ancient hairy emojis.
Emojis. We'll teach you that word. Maybe I should have done that one for you. All right.
So what is, if you have a unibrow, what does that mean?
You're Russian or German, one or the other.
Okay.
Research shows people who make their bed daily are likely to sleep better. I don't know about you, but for me, vacuuming up Doritos crumbs out of my bed always helps me sleep. Actually, I think they're Triscuits now. All right. Yeah, Triscuits.
Okay. Well, did you hear about the New York Police Department's new crime-fighting robots?
I did.
So you took away my line.
I'm sorry. Nope.
Oh, okay. It's said that they'll be immune to hackers because they run the most secure system known to man. Windows 95.
It's true. Never got hacked or, viruses or nothing.
Right.
One more study found that not only do citronella candles not repel mosquitoes, but they tend to attract them. Huh. In other words, if you're sitting outside with a citronella candle, mosquitoes simply consider you a candlelight meal. That's horrible. All right, we move on to wacky but true. We don't add any jokes to these because they are totally self-contained and true. We'll kick that off. But the first one was really, really bad. I did find a better story, Mike, if I can get to it. All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger in L.A. fed up with a pothole on the road to his house. So what did he do? Gathered up one of his local buddies, picked up a shovel, and filled it himself. Cement and everything. Patched the road. The actor and former California governor tweeted to a video Tuesday of him and a helper using packed concrete to repair the road in Brentwood area. He says on Twitter, I always say, let's not complain, let's do something about it. So here you go. Today, after the whole neighborhood has been upset about this giant pothole that's been screwing up cars and bicycles for weeks, we went out with my team and fixed it. All right. So, Mike, if you or I did that, though, we would get fined from the city for messing with one of the roads.
Exactly, because I know that happened in Spokane. There was a big news story on that.
All right.
The city went after him.
So here is the first thing Arnold Schwarzenegger said before he filled the pothole.
The more contact I have with humans, the more I learn.
And then before he put the concrete into the pothole, this is what he had to tell it.
I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
There you go. That's how you avoid a ticket.
Now it's probably a tourist attraction, so you can
That's
get
right.
your picture taken by the pothole that Arnold Schwarzenegger filled in.
Hey, I like that. All right, Mike, get squirrely on us from Germany.
Okay, I'll get squirrely. You know, firefighters in Germany freed a squirrel that was stuck in a manhole cover.
Oh.
Really? Huh.
Just its
That's
little head?
unusual. Yeah. The fire department said it was alerted to a distressed squirrel by a pedestrian Monday afternoon after she spotted its head peering out of the hole in the road.
Okay.
Okay, the woman covered it with a scarf to calm it down before calling for help. The crew, the firefighters who arrived at the scene, carefully removed the hand manhole cover and tried to free the rodent. Now, why did we go from squirrel to rodent?
Yeah, that's not fair at all.
That's not fair. I mean, went from warm and fuzzy to a rat.
Something you're going to need a shot for.
Right. The fire department said, this turned out to be quite complicated as the squirrel was uncooperative. And we've all had squirrels that won't listen, right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Some of your ex-wives, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway. After further attempts, the crew was able to extract the animal unharmed, and it vanished up a nearby tree.
All right. Very squirrely of you, Mike. And Mike has experienced this himself.
There's squirrels in my pants!
Squirrels in his pants. On to Florida, where weird things always happen. A teacher at a Florida middle school was arrested last week following reports that she allegedly launched her own fight club. Yes, it was among students in her classroom. Angel Footman was charged with 4 counts of child delinquency after students notified school resource officers of what occurred and encouraged them in her presence. The 6th grade teacher, 6th grade, hosted the brawls regularly with rules similar to a real-life fight club, urging participants and onlookers not to take videos or yell for fear of being found out by the school. Videos leaked of the alleged fights, with Footman visibly seated at her desk yelling out parameters for the student melees from her desk, such as no screaming, no nothing, and limiting the matches to just 30 seconds. Wow. So, kind of like this. There you go.
Okay, all right. We're going to go to Argentina.
All right.
And some Argentina police officers were fired after a half-ton of marijuana disappeared from a police warehouse.
A half-ton?
Half-ton. 1,000 pounds.
Wow.
Ooh. The officers claimed the impounded pot had been eaten by the mice.
I wonder which one.
I'm Mickey Mouse. You know, Mickey Mouse. I hope you've heard of me. I hope.
Think I could get sued for that? Maybe. Maybe. All right. Last one here. Gang of robbers arrested in Brazil after they kept being interrupted by pizza delivery guy. At a car repair shop, an employee ordered a pizza for his lunch minutes before a gang arrived to rob him. When the pizza delivery guy arrived, the gang locked him up with the repair shop staff. Staff at the pizza shop began to worry about what had happened to their delivery guy and sent a second delivery guy to check on him. He too was locked up, and when he didn't come back to the pizza shop, the manager decided to check for himself. When the manager didn't arrive, the owner of the pizza place called the police, who arrested part of the gang, recovered most of the stolen goods, released the hostages, and yes, ate some pizza. Here you go.
On a sadder note, Pizza the Hut, famed half man, half pizza, was found dead earlier today in the backseat of his stretched limo.
There you go. Pizza the Hut.
Yeah.
And lucky for the people at home, that's our show for today. Big round of applause for Mike Benson, myself, Scott Allen. Tomorrow morning, we will bring in Alan Malani and Chuck Ritchie. We call it Three Amigos Thursday as we release the mayhem of ourselves on Chihuahua. You want to tune in for that. Right, Mike?
That's right. Exactly.
I happen to know you actually tune in sometimes for Three Amigos Thursday, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's hard to tune in and not knowing you're tuned in.
Yeah. All right. A big round of applause once again for Mike Hall, too. If you missed his interview, it started at 8, right in the middle of the show, and you can catch that on Facebook and YouTube if you'd like to rehear any part of that. Big round of applause for Mike. And Mike, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's out of here. You have a great day and keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio.
Okay. All right.
Please.
Bye.
Don't go. No, you can go, Mike. Everybody else should stay.
Well, I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.